Hello friends and welcome back. If you want to learn how to paint these polar bear holiday cards, and one of them even has the mask on, stay tuned and prepare your supplies. I have a sketch of this first card in the description below. All the sketches are there and you can just download and print them and paint on top, or just pause this video and create your sketch. I have not started by pre-wetting the background like I usually do because there is no need in this case. I'm just gonna go around the bear and just wipe those two edges to make it look a little fluffy. A little faded there. I'm pre-wetting the bottom side of the bear, just gonna be the snow, and I'm adding some purple, which for me it's gonna be a combination of that ultramarine blue and permanent rose. As I'm working on the bear, I pre-wetted the bear, so it's a work that's wet on wet, and it's a little muddy. So I'm combining the lemon yellow with that burnt sienna, and to make it muddy, I'm adding some Payne's gray. I find that to work very well. It just mutes the colors. I don't want any more vivid colors here. I'm gonna focus on that beautiful sky. And once the first layer is dry for the bear, I'm gonna add that very deep Payne's gray color and just have the main detail coming out. Emphasize those, and it's a very soft work. You don't have to overwork it. The less brush strokes you're gonna have, the nicer your result is gonna be. This is the easiest one. I've decided to start with this so I don't scare you too much and you get into the process of painting. You're gonna be happy with the first one, and then on the next one everything's gonna be a lot easier. I also want to mention that for this tutorial I'm using a paper that I haven't used before. It's a Strathmore 140 pounds watercolor paper, and it came in a notebook of 12 sheets. It was 5.5 by 8.5 inches, so I didn't have to cut it. This is the size of each paper, which saves me some time. But I should be honest and say this notebook was on sale at Dick Blick, and it costed $3. So that's all it was, and I was curious seeing if this paper really is good to work on final pieces, or it's just good for swatches and sketches. I like to do studies before painting sometimes, and I don't want to use expensive paper for that. It's really a waste. So it's good to have notebooks like this at hand. I'm working here wet on the bears, and as you can see, I started with that background like I usually do, and I went around the bears. This background I want to be a lot more out of focus, so and soft. So I started with pre-wetting the background. Went around the bears. Now I also wetted the right side of the painting, which is gonna be the ground, and I put some strokes of compost blue. You can use any vivid blue that is cool for that area. You can use even a cerulean blue. For the bears, I'm trying to preserve that area on the top, and that is where the light is shining, and because of they're so furry, it's gonna look like it's almost glowing, so it's gonna be the white point of the painting. This is a very soft work, and I'm using the silver brush, which is also very soft. It's a imitation of natural hairs, but it's synthetic. It will blend and bend very well. I'm adding the last layer once everything is dry. This is a Payne's gray combined with that purple I have created. I'll call it purple, but it's a combination of the permanent rose and the ultramarine. I'm just painting some claws, the eyes, the tip of the nose, and that's it. Splattering some white gouache to create the snow effect, like it's snowing. and taking the tape off. Okay, this doesn't happen with arches, but I have been a little rough, so this stair I can fix it, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing. So I'm peeling very carefully the opposite way, and I'll leave that. I'll add some school glue under there and just flattening that area to see if I can just hide that and make it seem a little bit like a scratch, and that's all. Looks pretty good. So yeah, that was the only tear that happened so far. It was a little bit my fault, so I was able to fix it. And this is the second card. You can see the gouache is not dried yet, but that's a comparison because the background is lighter on the second card. The snowflakes are not that visible, so you can go darker if you'd like. Now for the third card, again, the sketch is in the description below if you'd like to download that. And I'm starting with the background. I'll make it even lighter. I'll make it lighter this time, and the bears are going to be darker. Here you can make it even darker than this if you'd like. I decided to add some trees in the distance there, and I'm going to play with the two main colors of the painting there. It's that purple and then the combination of the ultramarine blue with that compost blue. It's more ultramarine, and I'm blending them a little bit and then let it dry. I find that this paper gives me enough time to work my paint. It keeps the water at the surface. It doesn't absorb the water. It kind of keeps it at the surface a little bit more. But as long as you look at it and you understand what's happening, I think you can get good results. I'm pleased with this paper. It's surprising for the price. So now I'm wetting the ground and adding those loose strokes of the compost blue. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Compost blue. Like I said, it can also be a cerulean blue. I like very much this color for winter landscapes because it makes it look very cold, like almost like freezing. So I think it's a very good color. I'm using it for the contour of the bears because that would be a reflection of the environment, and that is a very good just rule of thumb to keep the composition unitary and your painting looking more elevated. Try to replicate the color. Don't use a color only in one area. Try to incorporate in various areas of the painting and create the composition with that, so everything looks connected together. Now I'm adding that dark violet between the legs and everywhere where is very dark fur. I'm just playing wet on wet here with various combination of burnt sienna, that Payens gray, the lemon yellow, just to create the illusion of a shape. It's very soft work. The only hard edges are gonna be on that mask. I'm putting the mask for the mama bear. The cubby doesn't need it yet. You can use a mask for the cubby too. I think that would be actually very fun. It's a good card to keep and look at it, and you don't even have to put the year on it because it'll be pretty obvious it's 2020. It's this year. So yeah, I thought about doing a video only with animals with masks on, but maybe that would be too much. So here you go, just like have just one bear like this. The cubby has the reflection from the snow on the right side. It's also the shaded area. So you'll see the mama bear has the right side more in the shade, darker. Now I'm adding that pine tree there. So it creates even a nicer composition, and it looks like it's bending on top of the mama bear. And for the mask, I'm adding that composite blue, and I'm wiping it in the middle to show the shape that is curved. It's a very tiny mask. Maybe it would have been, it can be bigger, it can be smaller, it can have a pattern. You can play with that as much as you like. For the splattering, now you can see that my background is pretty light and you don't see the snowflakes too much, but that was my intention, so I'm gonna keep it like this. Now please leave me a comment below. Let me know which one you like the most and what other videos you would like to see. Maybe more Christmas cards or more instructional or techniques. Yeah, just write them below, and I hope you had fun. See you on the next video.